Good morning.
Good morning to both of you. How are you?
Good, thank you. And good morning to you and to Bermuda.
Thank you so much for joining myself and my listening audience this morning. So, Family Center 2023 Tag Day. Is it Cup Match Tag Day?
It's our annual Cup Match Tag Day. You've got it. So that Wednesday before Cup Match, you can be sure to find Family Center taggers across the island with our stickers and our ribbons in your favorite Cup Match colors.
Absolutely. Now, this Tag Day is special.
Yes. Very, very special. So as most of Bermuda knows by now, we have lost our founder, Martha Dismont, and at Family Center, certainly, we have been heartbroken since that news, since we knew what happened. And of course, it is so fitting to dedicate our annual Cup Match Tag Day in her honor and in her memory this year and forevermore. It is just a wonderful way to just remember Martha and the humble giant that she was on this island and how she impacted people in so many ways. And the community, there was an immediate outpouring from the community of support to family and to Family Center, and just asking, what can we do? How can we remember this incredible woman who gave of herself selflessly every day to help others? And so with that, we've got her daughter here, Aruna Dismont, because this was a synergy idea as well.
Yeah, I had time, of course, of my mother when she passed, and we were sitting together with my family, and I said, how can I and Bermuda, because I knew what was coming, memorialize her and make it feel like she was still connected to us. And so my cousin said, well, how about we dedicate Tag Day to her? And of course I was like, ding, ding, ding. Right. Obviously, because the history behind Tag Day and how it even came into fruition, we can talk about that. But then I reached out to Sandy, and she was like, well, obviously, it's of course the most touching thing we can do for this whole situation. So here we are, Tag Day number 1 forevermore.
Yes,
dedicated to my mom.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
I mean, your mom was no stranger to interviews, television, radio. How can you sum up your mom?
How could I sum up my mother? My mother or Martha Dismont? Because those are two different people.
Well, let's do both.
My mother didn't stop. And not to say that she had any trouble stopping, because when it was football, family, or taking the dog for a walk, she had somewhere else to be. But she always had room to do more and to grow and to do something else. And she always saw a gap. She didn't see a gap as a gap. She saw a gap as how can we fill the gap? And that was personal, and work-wise. So that's how I think sum her up is love just kept going. She didn't have any gaps in her love. That's how I would describe her.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I would and then to add that, I think that we all felt that, like everybody has. It's incredible the words that have been thrown out to describe Martha, legend, an icon. And these aren't things just because she was out there, doing a particular talent to be an icon, but it was actually her outpouring of whatever she had to give, she would to give it to people. So if she's walking past you in the street and it's that kind hello with that smile that she had, right? And how can I help? And how can I keep motivating you and inspiring you to keep going? And she wanted to ensure that support was accessible for everybody, and everybody knew what their potential was and how they could get there. Martha didn't give up on anybody. And so, we are so proud to carry on that legacy in any way, shape, or form that we can. And as an organization, as Family Center, which she, was there for 30 years and retired only in 2020, we take a lot of comfort in knowing that we're continuing her commitment to the work.
Yes.
Earlier, before this interview started, the three of us talked about one of her favorite phrases was,
all the time,
there is much work to be done. And so we will carry that on for you, Martha.
Yeah, she always said that. I think it had to be in every interview. It was just it wasn't that something that she just said. It was part of her.
Yeah.
That's why she never stopped. She knew she had a great vision. She could see. She could
Yes.
see what was the need was, but she could find ways to meet those needs.
Yeah.
All right, now 2023, the first Family Center's Cup Match Tag Day started in 1995.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and there's a story behind that. So Brenda Richardson, who was one of Family Center's early board members at the time, and of course, you know, especially in your early years as a charity, you're always looking for fundraising ideas.
Yes.
So one day she had this idea of putting ribbons together in cup match colors, and a night before a board meeting, she actually sat there with a family member, I believe, or friend family member, Mary Harvey Mason, who was visiting Bermuda from the U.S. They sat up all night chatting and putting together hundreds of Somerset and St. George's themed ribbons. And then the next day at the board meeting, Brenda presented them at the board meeting and said, "What do you think of this idea?" And boom, Tag Day was born, and the rest is history.
Yes, and it's literally here to stay. So
Yeah.
those that are for Somerset, St. George's, some people take both. Some people
Yes.
donate for just St. George's or Somerset. Well, it's here to stay. I mean, 1995 to now, and this is one of your biggest. Is this the main fundraiser for Family Center?
It is our biggest community fundraising event. Yeah. Sometimes we've had Beach Bash in the past and Passport to Dine Around in terms of just more of like a gala dinner event. But this is our largest community fundraising event, and it's been going for 28 years now. And Clarion has been our sponsor for 22 years. We are so grateful for them because, you know, without their support, it would be hard to continue the event because, of course, these events cost something to put on as well. And this year, they were also equally as excited to be on board with dedicating the day to Martha. And it was actually their idea to have a tribute board at their Point House location on August 2nd, where anybody in the community can go and actually write a tribute on the board. And then after Tag Day, that will come down and be put up at Family Center. If you want a ribbon, a party, and drop a tribute, Point House is the place to go on August 2nd.
Now you can get your St. George's colors, your Somerset colors, or if you don't have a team, or some people are still neutral, it doesn't matter. You're donating to Family Center. Family Center's first Cup Match Tag Day started in 1995, and 28 years later?
28 years later,
here we are,
yes.
2023, so it's definitely not stopping now.
Yeah.
And from now and going forward, Cup Match Tag Day will always be remembered by now the late Martha Dismont.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Now, she was your mentor, yes?
Yes, absolutely. I met Martha in 1998. Before I have an outpouring of emotion right here on live radio, she opened many, many, many doors for me, and I know for so many others. So the gratitude is enormous for Martha. She could see in people what they might not have even seen in themselves because just they're running through life or whatever else is happening. And so when she said, "I know you can do this," or "I see this in you," you just go, okay, because I trust this incredible person, this incredible woman, this incredible visionary. Then you start to see it in yourself. So I am grateful for the for the many, many years I was under her mentorship, started as a university student, and then here I am today at Family Center.
Yeah, I think I remember you when you, I know I remember when you first came, and then you went there for a while, and then you came back, better, stronger.
Yeah. Thank you, Aruna. Yes. And I remember Aruna being little and just always being in, of course, the space.
Yes, I was always there somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't think I realized where I was until I wasn't there anymore, and everyone else was there, and I was like, "Oh, that's where I grew up," because it was just second nature. I remember talking about Tag Day. Now the story with Brenda I was 6 years old, but the tags that we see now, the beautiful sponsored ones, they weren't always like that. We didn't have those until I don't know how many years ago. Yeah,
probably when Clarion came on board.
That's true.
So 22. Yeah,
or maybe pre-Clarion a little bit, but. Before that, we used to make the ribbons by hand.
Wow.
So we'd be, at the time it was in the Stables building, where Island Trading is. In the back room, we'd have friends, family, staff, a bunch of spools, a bunch of scissors, a bunch of pins, and we had a section for the cutting, a section for the wrapping, a section for the pinning,
And everything
a section
was made by hand.
Yes, by hand at
Yes.
whatever time at night we were doing it, so that we had enough ribbons. And obviously it grew, and so we found new ways. But this has been, the longest standing part of Family Center in terms of fundraising, and something that's always. My mother was in the room. She was never out, floating around. She was right there at some station doing one of the things, her hands in the pot. So, this is really special.
Absolutely. I think everyone can attest that. To me, Miss Dismont was always the same. Every time I saw her, she was the same. Her countenance, her smile, and she was genuine. That's just who she was.
Yes.
I used to get excited when I heard that she was come by. I was like, yes. But like you said, her statement or her ending, closing, somewhere in between, she always said, we have so much work to do.
That's right. That's
And she
right.
meant
Work
it.
to be done.
Yeah. And she was a masterful public speaker. So she just, as soon as she spoke or entered a room, the public's attention would go to her. And she knew the power of pause, so that in between her statements, you were just sort of compelled to pause and think about what she just said. And so those are all the lessons, like when you watch her, to just learn. And I see so many of those things, like in Aruna today. Martha's family is part of Family Center's family. They are our roots, as you just heard from a story like that. I remember Aruna running up and down the hallway, during like summer camp times when I was working there as a student and whatnot. And it was like, Aruna, come hang out with us, come and do this. So this was Martha. She put her all into whatever she was doing. So she will be missed.
Definitely.
But doing things like this keeps her in our memory. So yeah. And then for anybody who wants to then say, well, how can I support? So in addition to, of course, purchasing your ribbons.
Yes.
And when I say purchase, meaning it's a minimum of a $2 donation for the ribbons, because they do cost something to make. These really pretty bow-like ribbons, as Aruna said, they didn't always look like this. So it's a minimum of a $2 donation for the ribbons. On the day with our taggers, there are stickers as well. So if you just have a quarter to put in the bucket, please, Bermuda, whatever you can put in. This helps to keep our counseling services, our community outreach programs, our advocacy initiatives going. And in Martha's honor, so whatever whatever you can pop into that bucket is greatly appreciated. You can also purchase ribbons. Ribbons are also available through Sargasso and Pronto. You can also just make a separate donation honoring the special meaning of this day on our website. You can host a denim day or another fundraising activity with colleagues, friends, and family. And volunteers are definitely still needed for the day. It takes a lot, as I'm sure Aruna will remember.
Tag every year.
Yeah, because it's a lot of hours at a lot of locations to ensure that we maximize the fundraising on the day. So if you are able to offer an hour or 2 hours of your time at a tagging station on Wednesday, August 2nd, between 8 a.m. as far as even up to 8 p.m. for the grocery stores, please email us or call us at 232-1116 and we can register you for tagging.
All right. Now, from now until August 2nd, we are donating to the Family Center. You can go to the website, tfc.bm. You can donate directly on the website, or you can just put your money right in the bucket so you can contact them, 232-1116. You can also email them, info@tfc.bm. Dr. Sandy De Silva, Aruna, have we covered everything?
Yep, I think also just a reminder about our website,
Yes.
www.tfc.bm/cupmatch, where you can also sign up there on the website. So if you don't have time for the call, etc., you can go in and see where the empty slots are for volunteering.
All right.
But please support us, Bermuda. We need to be able to keep going as an organization and provide these vital services for our communities in Bermuda. You never know when you're going to need support through counseling or through one of our programs, or how our advocacy initiatives can benefit you. So please come on out and support. And this is a special one for Martha Dismont.
Yes, it definitely is. Go to the website, tfc.bm, just in case you have never been to Family Center's website, and take a look at all the resources that they have available. You can donate right to the charity. And don't forget, Tag Day from now up until August 2nd, whatever you have, all the funds will go to the Family Center.
Yes.
Dr. Sandy De Silva, Aruna, thank you so much for coming
Thanks for
by.
having us.
Your mom
you.
will definitely be missed. most.
Yes.
And hugs to you and your entire family. And as she always said, what did she always leave with?
Yes.
There's much work to be done.
You've got it.
You got it. Thank you so
Yes.
much. For those
Thank
tuned
you.
in, we're at the bottom of the hour already. 8:33. I have our major news coming up. I'll be back with you shortly. We are Power 95.